So there's some major updates going on in the Kaylee gang case in the Missouri, somewhat St. Louis area, a high school fight that broke out between two teenage girls, classmates in this high school, that left one girl hospitalized with a cracked skull, brain damage, and it was really up in the air if this girl was going to survive or not, and one girl who was arrested. And in my last video, I was pointing out how it was terrible situation, period. A fight, violence, youth in the hospital, a youth in jail. But in my opinion, what was going on is politicians were snatching up the story and using it for political gain. And that's typical with anything that happens in the news or in life, really. If a politician can find a way to use it in their favor, they will. Sometimes they use it in their favor, in their political stuff they're pushing, and still try to really do good and do the right thing and really care about what's going on, whatever the issue or matter may be, whatever happened. Sometimes they just strictly try to put the political spin on it, and it was getting real hectic. It was becoming a political/racial matter. That's what it seemed like to me. You know, I'm just sitting here as someone watching the news, watching what's going on, covering the story. I'm not from there. I don't have firsthand knowledge of this or anything like that. So everyone out there, please jump into the comment thread and share your thoughts. Hit the buttons for me, sub up to the channel and all that. But first and foremost, the first update that I want to get into is very good news. And that is that this girl is recovered to the point that she's breathing on her own. I'm not positive, but I believe being moved out of the ICU, and that is extremely good news. Like I was saying before, I'm not saying fights is something that should be part of everyone's life growing up. I'm just pointing out that it kind of is in a way. Like when I grew up, at least, everyone seemed to get in altercations, incidents, arguments, fights at school. No one is perfect. Anytime people come together, a lot of people in a certain place, there's going to be disagreements and stuff like that. It's just life. That's just what it is. And this is just a very tragic situation. And, you know, there's this whole debate going on if this other girl who's locked up should face charges as an adult. And when I'm talking about political and stuff like that, before the Attorney General was pushing very hard to have this girl charged as an adult. Will that happen? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Some people said most definitely they feel that this is attempted murder. Some say no, it's just a fight that got out of hand. Some were saying if the girl doesn't make it, this girl should be charged as an adult. I don't know. You let me know what you think below. My opinion was fights do happen, like I said, when you're growing up. Once again, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's kind of the way that it's always been. But I personally just felt when the girl slammed the other girl's head off the pavement multiple times at the end of the fight. If you've seen the video, it's in there. It's very brutal. Once again, I'm not going to include the video in this video. It's graphic. I think it's in poor taste to include it in this video. But it's out there. If people want to see it, it's most definitely out there. But in my opinion, that was just going too far. The fight was over. She had got the best of the girl. And it was just wild. It was a wild scene. There was other people fighting. There was a total melee going on. And a lot of people are asking, and I'm asking as well, who is this woman in this video that seems to be an adult? I would say is an adult for sure. There was a lot of talk going around that is the Kaylee girl's mother.
This adult's presence alone is solely responsible for what happened to Kaylee. If she does not make it, this person needs to be in prison. Anybody that was involved, please tag, share, leave a comment. Who is the adult that arrived to a fight with children and watched this happen? You belong in prison today. With Kaylee Gaines, and you can hear her yelling at the beginning of the fight, "Get her, Kaylee, get her, Kaylee." That is contributing to the delinquency of a minor. This adult's presence alone is solely responsible for what happened to Kaylee. If she does not make it, this person needs to be in prison. Anybody that was involved, please tag, share, leave a comment. Who is the adult that arrived to a fight with children and watched this happen? You belong in.
Again, that's allegedly. I'm asking. I want to know what everyone thinks. It definitely seems to be an adult. A lot of people are saying that is that girl's mother, and there's a lot of narratives going on that the mother, is a recovering drug addict. I don't know if that's true or not. That needs to be looked into more, and I'm sure it is being looked into by the authorities. Who is this an adult? Why is an adult involved in a fight? It's just absolutely crazy, whether that's the mom or someone else. If that is indeed an adult, which it seems to be, I would say is, but we got to address everything as allegedly and things of that nature. That person, in my opinion, needs to be charged in some way. I mean, it's totally ludicrous for an adult to be involved in a fight amongst youths. It's just ludicrous. So hopefully the authorities get to the bottom of this, and and again, I'm sure they're definitely investigating this. It's not like it's some hidden information or anything. It's right there in the video that there seems to be an adult standing in the midst of a brawl between a bunch of high school students. And flat out, just in general, not even just pertaining to this story, we're talking about parents. Gotta do better. I'm not a judgmental person or anything like that. I'm not perfect. I'm just saying, as parents, when you're raising your kid, we always want to and should want our kids to do better. We gotta teach our kids the right thing and try to be there for them and whatnot. And if this is indeed the mother pulling up to a fight with a kid, not the right thing to do. Sitting there and being involved in a brawl with a bunch of youths when you're a grown-ass woman, definitely not the right thing to do at all. And that's where we got to get in to start speaking about the other youth involved, the one that has been arrested and from my understanding is still locked up in a juvenile facility. I'm not 100% on that. Their family is speaking out and saying that their child is indeed the real victim. And like I said, this is a story that's been getting a lot of news coverage. Politicians been getting in the mix. There's been a lot of racial stuff that's been going on. There's talks about the school, and I really wonder, where was the school? I don't know if this was right on school grounds. It seems like it was, but it could have been off school grounds. But even if it was, security, police, whoever is on scene at the school needs to be doing their job. There was all this talk about this DEI training and how there was previous security guards or officers or whatever who were supposed to take this DEI training and refused to. And then the new security guards were involved. And there was this narrative that was saying that the DEI training was being pushed in a way. And this is, stuff I've observed from delving into this story. I'm not saying that's what it is. Anyone, with opinion or knowledge of all this, please comment, because I don't fully understand all this DEI stuff. From my understanding, it's supposed to be used in places like schools, workplaces, and stuff like that, and it's supposed to, be put into place to make people understand and respect other individuals' ethnicities and cultural background, and more or less just to be respectful of everyone, which is something that people should just know, period. Respect everyone. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be a bigot. Don't be hateful. I don't know if that ties into this situation at all. That's a part of this story that I was a bit confused about. So once again, everyone, please tap in and comment. But like I was saying, this story was just you see people debating about it and speaking about it, and it was just becoming a very, already touched on the political side of things, but heated racial debates going on. And people were trying to say, oh, this was a hate crime. And I don't believe that to be true. To me, this seems to be two teens that got into a fight and things went too far. But back to speaking about the other girl's family, who is saying that their daughter is the real victim. As I covered in a previous video with the Kaylee Gain girl's family, they raised all kinds of money via GoFundMes and things like that. And once again, the update says she is conscious, breathing, on her own, and that's great news, right? But the other girl, who, once again, these are high schoolers, teenagers. This girl got in a fight, and she is, from my understanding, still locked up. Even if she's not locked up, she's definitely still facing charges. We don't know if the attorney general is going to upgrade him or charge her as an adult. But reportedly, this girl was an honor student. This girl had never been in trouble before. This girl played volleyball for the school. And the family is saying, hey, everyone's making it out like our daughter is just this monster who just brutally assaulted Kaylee, and it's like a hate crime and whatnot. They're claiming that things were different, where their daughter had never been in trouble before. Like I said, an honor student involved in all these extracurricular activities and never been in a bit of trouble in her life. And they say that Kaylee was bullying her daughter.
Y'all friend got beat up. How y'all feel? How y'all feel? And before y'all say shit, the reason this hoe got jumped in the end was because she tried to jump me with her sister yesterday. I don't jump, but
So that's a video that's been going around social media of Kaylee Gain talking about a different altercation that she had been involved before, talking about some girl trying to jump her and jumping her back, or I don't know, just talking some beef talk or whatever, talking some tough talk, taking beef to the whole digital social media side of things. And to me, it shows that this girl was involved in the drama, involved in the beef and whatnot. And does that mean that it's okay what happened to her, or it's just what happened to her? Hell no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just sitting here trying to really look at the whole situation for what it is than just getting caught up in the news headlines. That's how I rock when I cover stories. I just try to uncover things and speak about it with the people out there and open the comment thread to discuss, debate the situation with everyone out there. That's what this platform is all about. So please get into the comments. Please share your thoughts, take an opinion. As I stated, I think this is a horrific tragedy. I don't see a way this girl isn't going to face charges. Once again, I think fights may happen, yes, but I felt the slamming of that girl's head off the pavement was going too far, going beyond just the normal fight, But I don't know. Once again, the comments are open for everyone out there to share your opinion. I always just feel like every situation just isn't as simple as, or I shouldn't say every, but a lot of situations aren't just simple as, well, this is that, and in this situation or in this horrific tragedy, they're just saying, oh, this girl just brutally attacked this girl, hit her with attempted murder, charge her as an adult, lock her up and throw away the key, politics involved, racial aspects involved. That's the way the news has been pushing it. But once again, the other family is saying their child had never been in no trouble and that had been messing with her, bullying her, and they say that their child was defending herself. Is that what it is? Comment, everyone. Do you, when you see that video, if you have seen it, do you see someone that, there's no way we can know everything from just watching a video, but do you see someone that was just defending themselves or what? Comment below. But they have also tried to raise money for their child's legal defense, because when it comes to court, when it comes to the legal system, a lot of times cases that get coverage by national news and stuff like that, there's attorneys that will step in and cover the case pro bono. It's a lot of publicity for the attorneys. Sometimes there's attorneys that really just want to do good for society. And also there's their own interests in the whole situation as well. But their GoFundMe was shut down, as I guess it's GoFundMe's policy to not allow fundraising in the situation where someone was charged with with a violent crime. Now, the family of this other girl has said some other things, as well as the school also. A lot of people want to know what's going on with this school. I asked that same question as well, but it said that the family is asking for the St. Louis Juvenile Court to show compassion to their daughter, who they believe was unfairly labeled as a bully in a complicated situation. And they had put up a message online that said, I believe this is from the GoFundMe that was deleted, prior to an incident on March 8th where she was seen defending herself from harassment and bullying, she had never been in trouble. Her work as a scholar was tainted by the bullying she had to endure at school. It is unjust that such an accomplished young woman should be charged as an adult for assault without considering all the facts of the case that led to the incident where harm occurred. We request that all aspects of her life be considered during indictment and sentencing: her academic achievements, extracurricular involvement, linguistic skills, and most importantly, her victimhood as a bullied student who was merely defending herself under intense and fight versus fight circumstances. But because politicians are inserting themselves in a juvenile matter, it has completely swayed public opinion and has incited more divisiveness, not only in the local community, but nationally. And I would agree with that. The politicians got involved, and, you know, it's news. People are going to speak on stuff. I totally understand that. But, you know, it's a horrible tragedy. And I just hope that the justice system really gets down to the nitty gritty and really finds out the exact true story here and does what is right as can be. You know, I'm someone that doesn't always have faith in the legal system in this country. You know, sometimes justice comes about, sometimes not so much. Some would say there's never really any true justice. You know what I mean? You could comment and share your thoughts on that. But, you know, public opinion is a strong thing. I mean, that's a whole nother discussion about legal defenses and things of that nature, but let's carry on. It says that the petition also mentions that the family has received racial abuse since the incident, and I believe that 100%. I mean, the stuff I've seen online and things posted from people in the local area and stuff like that, it seems like it wouldn't shock me one bit that is a fact. I believe them, you know. And it says the petition is addressed to Chief Juvenile Officer Rick Gaines and needs 500 signatures to escalate the issue to his office. By Thursday morning, it had 502. So it reached the amount it had to reach. After the fight news came out, Hazelwood School District said they were against violence in the community. It is a tragedy anytime children are hurt. So here's what the school district had to say. Bullying and fighting in the community is an issue for which we all need to take ownership and work towards a resolution for the sake of our children. The Hazelwood School District offers our sincerest condolences to everyone involved and will offer additional emotional support from our support and crisis team to those in need. Kaylee's family want justice, but don't want people to fight back against the other teenager. They don't know how bad Kaylee is hurt yet. So this is older, when she was just initially injured, you know, as now she has awoken, and it seems, I mean, just the fact that she's awake and breathing on her own is outstanding news. But you know, there was other questions about brain damage, brain swelling and stuff like that. So often you never know how the person is going to be, if they're going to wake up, and when they wake up, the extent of the damage. You know, sometimes it could be someone being a vegetable. Sometimes it could be someone losing motor function and just not being the same person anymore. The family confirmed that Kaylee suffered a fractured skull that resulted in brain bleeding and swelling, and she is still not woken. So again, that is older news as well. Although the family would like the justice to eventually be served through the legal system, their focus at this time is dedicated exclusively to Kaylee's recovery, her family said in a statement through their lawyer. The family also asked all members of the community at large to come together to denounce teen violence and bullying, as there have been far too many recent examples of teen violence that have resulted in significant injuries and even deaths in some instances. Kaylee's parents want to make a special request to their fellow parents in the community to ask them to reinforce to their children that physical violence and bullying are never appropriate, and to emphasize to their children that lives on both of the perpetrators of teen violence and the victims of violence can be permanently and forever changed as a result of violent incidents that last only a few minutes. Lastly, the family wants to emphasize that they do not want any retaliation of any kind to occur toward anyone that was either directly or indirectly involved in the incident. So a lot of that was older, statements from the family and whatnot. Fortunately, thank God this girl has recovered. I wouldn't say that it's a full recovery, but it sounds very positive. The school district had a bit to say as well, but not too much. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is a tragic situation. Something that was mentioned in that message was something about fights, something that only lasts a couple minutes, can affect the rest of individuals' lives. When someone is hurt seriously or at times dies and then another person being locked up, very often it's like, I'm sure people have experienced this in their own life where maybe they get in a fight or something like that, or just a heated situation that goes left and things get crazy and people get locked up, people get hurt, and later it's like, all this over what? You know what I mean? Especially when you're a teenager, you grow up and be like, look back on your teenage days like, oh man, all the dumb stuff we did when we were kids. Like, what were we thinking? But in this instance, someone was hurt badly and someone's locked up. The one family, I'm sure, is very happy that their daughter is recovering and has woken up. The other family is saying, hey, our daughter, they believe, is the real victim and, was on a great road in life until this incident, and say that their child was being bullied. This is just a very, very complex situation, far more complex than what we're seeing pushed out by politicians and individuals in the news, where they're just saying, oh, this is a hate crime. Oh, this girl needs to be locked up forever. Throw away the key. There's a lot of other questions involved in this. The school, like, what the fuck were they doing? They need to be investigated in all this as well. Who were this seemingly adult involved in the situation? Was it this girl's mother? I don't know. That's a question that's out there that I really want to know the answer to. And if it's not the mother, who was it, period? That person, I think, really needs to be spoken to by the police and investigated. And like I said, if law enforcement is really doing their due diligence and really trying to get true justice, they probably already hemmed up that person and spoke to them. I don't know. This is again, a very complex situation with juvenile court. Will it go to adult court? There's so many unanswered questions. But for now, thank God this girl woke up and seems to be doing better. But again, parents, this issue is crazy. We got to do our best as parents.
Critically injured in that fight near Hazelwood East is 16-year-old Kaylee Gain. Justina Cornell joins us now in studio with more information from Kaylee's family. Justina.
Mike, I spoke with her grandpa earlier today on the phone. He tells me his 16-year-old granddaughter needs support. There are 2 online fundraisers up and running right now, and they've already raised more than $100,000.
Why is there someone recording a fight like this and not calling for help?
Dr. Leslie Davis watched video of the horrific fight as a 15-year-old slammed 16-year-old Kaylee Gain's head into the ground several times near Hazelwood East High School last week.
Just seeing her laying on the ground helpless, and how there was an outbreak of other fights around her, and she's just laying there. It seemed like she was very, very hurt physically, but no one was coming to help her. No one checked on her.
2 online fundraisers are supporting Kaylee Gain. The GoFundMe say the teen fractured her skull and has frontal lobe damage. She also has brain bleeding and swelling, and the family won't know the extent of the brain damage until she wakes up.
My advice to parents is to encourage your youth to speak up.
Dr. Davis works with teens to prevent violence. She believes social media and the pandemic could be playing a role in the disturbing trend of fights.
Bullying started to increase and violence in schools started to increase. And I think most of that is because they didn't have any connection. And so once they get into a place where they're forced to connect again, when there's conflict and they don't have the communication skills, then they engage in violence. So that seems to be a natural response to the way that they need to express how they're feeling.
She said violence is learned behavior in adults.
Critically injured in that.
All right, so that was a doctor who specializes in, youths and just different things like that, the effect of social media on youth. You hear a lot of different aspects of the mind state of someone growing up in high school these days with social media and everything. It's a whole different world, for real. A lot of us, we comment everyone, when did social media and this whole digital blogosphere era of what we see today, when did it come into your life? For those that grew up, this was always a part of your life. You literally grew up almost on another planet, I'm a parent of I have a child that's in high school. It's just crazy these days. It's a whole new world we're living in. I always thought as a parent that's relatively younger and I felt like I know what's up, what's going on. It's like when I talk to my kids, I can see it's just a different world. Some things remain the same, yes, but a lot is totally different. So there you have it. That's all the updates on this Kaylee Gaines situation. She's recovering. The other family is pleading for help, that they believe their child is the true victim. What will be the outcome with court? Will she get charged as an adult? Will it stay a juvenile crime? What will be true justice? Can there be true justice? We'll have to wait and see. So once again, thank you everyone for watching. Please hit them buttons, but more importantly, engage with the discussion. Once again, that's what it's all about over here, talking about different cases and stuff like that goes on in society and life in this blogosphere era. I'll catch you on the next video. God bless everyone out there. Peace.